1 minute, 1 minute. Because that is, you going to be silent waiting to happen. That's all. Let's see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Hey, hey, hey. I hope y'all is having a great day today. This is just Sylvie, y'all. Just Sylvie. Coming to bring you a little bit of that 414, a little bit of one in the middle, just for some balance. Why? Because you're going to see things this way. They're going to see things that way. And if we come together just to get some effective communication going on, it is very highly possible that we can gain some understanding one of another. There is nothing better than having some understanding. It is not going to say that you are going to agree with all of my views, that I am going to agree with all of your views, that we are going to agree on every aspect of life. But what understanding does say is we can have a respect, a mutual respect, one for another. What is GG? Gavin? What is GG? So, y'all see that title? Who is really the pick me? You can have a mutual respect with McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's. But I can have a mutual respect for you if that's what you choose to do. Or is there something underlying that you are saying, Dort, yo, say, Tani? That part. We're going to talk about self-love being... Self-love is the best love, but your love was the worst drug. Self-love is the best love, but your love, Dort, yo, Satani, is the worst drug. It's the kind that needs to go and do some self-love of their own. the kind that thinks that it's going to come on my platform and make me feel bad because they said something about me that I already know, because I'm going to just assume that Dort Satani is taking a dig at my weight. That's what I'm just going to assume. But if Dort Satani, internet gangster, one who feels the need to put someone else down to try and make themselves seem bigger knew anything about this platform, Dorsey Tani would understand that I have talked about my weight gain. Not only have I talked about my weight gain, but have taken the weight off and kept it off for several years. So, that's all that I'll say about that. And I do like food. Not McDonald's, though. You sound like you don't have friends. That's what you sound like. You sound like you are the worst of people. That's what you sound like. It's no need to be, all you gotta do is think twice. Or be ready for the smoke. That's all. Because I got the smoke. If you want the smoke. I don't have to bring the smoke. I love to get down on my chat. And I done said this a plenty of times as well. I don't block people. So if you feel as though you want to come into my... Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not great at pronouncing names, but I be trying. Sarjit Kaur? Kaur? Sar? G? Kaur? I'm sorry that your bunny passed away. I know how people feel about their pets. I have a dog. We've had our dog. Well, my dog now lives with my daughters, but while they were still home, we've had the dog that long. She's 16 years old. She has gone through several bouts with cancer. So yes, I definitely understand the love of pets, and I am so sorry that your bunny passed away, and I'll be keeping you in my prayers. But back to you, Mr. Satani or Miss Satani, whichever thou might be. I got enough love to go around, but I got smoke for you if you want to smoke. But I'm not going to block you. I'm going to let you say what you choose to say in my chat. Because guess what? Sticks and stones break your bones and words can hurt. But when you have sat with yourself and learn to love on yourself, which we're going to talk about. That's why I started off with that song, Self-Love is the Best Love. And your love might be the worst drug. If I don't love myself, had I not been one who had sat back and taken time to sit with myself, those words probably would have made me sink. Probably. But I have been in, and I won't even call it a battle. Because as I stated, go back and look at any number of my lives and it's going to tell you about where this weight took a turn and the things that I'm challenged with at this particular time, and still working on getting the weight back off, that I kept off for 10 years. So yes. But welcome, you guys. I do accept your apology. I hope y'all is having a great week. It is just the start of the week. And the goal was to be here in the morning time. Oh, and my lighting is horrible. Give me a minute, y'all. Let me put some natural light in here. Dorsey Tani want to be talking about me and stop. Yes, that's better. That is better. And they're going to say, okay, sister, I'm sorry. But it is just the start of the week, and the goal was to be here in the morning time. And I missed the morning time by a couple of minutes, but I'm working. I am working, but I am still here, and it's close to the morning time. It's close to the morning time, God. It's close to the morning time. Sure. But look, y'all. So look, I be watching a whole lot of Kendra G, and I started hearing this term "pick me" just being on social media because you have a certain group of women that will call women to the mat, and it sounds as though they may be defending the nonsense or the negative traits of men. So I definitely understand the term pick me, but you have to ask the question, because it's a funny term. Who is really the pick me? Am I the pick me because I love someone enough to hold them accountable? Because I can see things from another side? Or are you the pick me because you keep passing the buck of your accountability and crying, he did it, they did it all the time? Because you want to be picked every time. You want to be chosen. So much so that you have no desire to have a discernment. Kendra kept telling that young lady today, you gotta work at your discernment. You gotta work at your discernment. But the young lady said twice, and that's when I said I was gonna talk about it. The young lady said twice. She said it in the beginning of the show, and she said it when Kendra asked, because Kendra is gonna ask her guests, whether male or female, she asked them all the same questions. What are your 3 flaws? Her third flaw, one of her 3 flaws was she has to learn to love herself more. If you love yourself good, bad, and different. Somebody just said to me, I'm very single, but that don't mean that I don't have men in my face. And someone just said to me, because I was having a conversation about this weight that I'm working on getting off right now. Also, some very critical friend in my life says that he can tell that I've already lost some, which is probably inches, because inches don't show forward to the person that's losing the weight the way that they do to other people. I have dealt with my weight on 2 separate occasions. And the first time, I tell the story, the first time I believe God told me I was conceited, I was not confident. So you need the weight back, because I need for you to learn confidence and not conceit, because conceit is an outward shell. Conceit would have probably had me crush under that statement in my chat as well. But someone said when I made reference to my weight and how fast this weight just came back on me, that person was like, just the way I like it. Because whether y'all know it or not, some men do like thick women, and all of them ain't thick men, and all of them ain't sorry men. My ex-husband was not a sorry man. He was a very hard-working man. And I have never been a thin chick. Even at my smallest weight, I was not a thick chick. But nobody ever knew my weight when I told people what my weight was at my smallest weight, because I have a little bit of height. I turned off those notifications, but I didn't turn off these notifications because I have a little bit of height. My weight doesn't always look like what it actually is. Saying all of that to say, I told that young man, I love myself good, bad, and indifferent. But I am at a place where not only did I love the weight that I was at, not love me any less because I've gained the weight, but love the weight that I was at and loved what it took to get there. There are health issues that are attributed to when I am a larger weight. All of that to say, I don't hate myself. I have sat down to do the work to make sure that what people think of me, he thinks the weight is great. You think I ate the McDonald's owner. Neither one of you, what neither one of you eats makes me shit. because I have to be pleased with the decisions in my life. But once you sit down and work on self-love, because self-love is never going to allow you to feel the need to put another person down. It took a minute for God to get me on this platform, because I never want people to think, even though God said step on toes, that I'm trying to put someone down. So I have tried to make sure that I learn how to use my words. All of that comes with discernment. I do not believe discernment is something that you can have if you don't have any self-love. Discernment is a thought process. And if you don't love yourself, you're not thinking clearly in the first place, because you're supposed to love yourself before anybody else can love you the right way. Period. That young lady said that she didn't love herself correctly twice. Anytime that you say that you have to work on your self-love, she was up there, Kendra G is a dating show. So you're up there looking for a man to marry. You've been married, and she started off with the fact that she was married. I forget. I'm assuming that I don't know if it was a country or if she was speaking that he was from a sect of Islam. I forget what the name was she called out, but her ex-husband was Muslim. And her words were, he met every stereotype about Muslim men that I had ever heard. Which made me think, and that was one of the first things before she even said anything about self-love, I wonder where she's getting her information from. Because first and foremost, character flaws are character flaws. They don't have anything to do with religion. I'm not even going to say I know a lot of Muslim men, but I can't imagine that there aren't many great ones. But since I am an avid believer that you attract who you are, it doesn't shock me that you met someone who was abusive. You don't love yourself. If you love yourself, you're not going to let yourself be a punching bag for somebody. You're just not. If you love yourself, you're not even going to particularly attract someone. And I say particularly because the attraction can still be there, because you can't stop somebody from being attracted to you. But that discernment will come in. If you love yourself, you are trying to get to know someone. That's all I be saying when the women be talking about, oh, they baby daddies. And I don't even like that term. But when you out here talking about the father of your children as if y'all didn't make the choice together. Oh, y'all out here screaming, he picked me. He chose me. He gave me the baby. That sounds like illegal stuff if you didn't have any choice in the matter. But if you're not somewhere doing work, you're going to be on the Kendra G dating show, meeting men on dating apps, going out on 3 dates and then deciding it's time to screw because she got a 3-date minimum. She had a 3-date minimum, but you don't love yourself. And then she tried to clean it up because Kendra asked her when she said, we went on 3 dates. She said, I generally make them go on 3 dates. And all I posted in the chat was, so you do 3 dates a lot? Like, you do 3 dates a lot. It sounds like you're out here doing 3 dates so that you can go ahead on and fulfill some needs, which once you went on into it and she tried to say, well, no, they got to know me 2 months. And then she went, well, maybe a month and a half, but you had only known, she had just met the dude a month prior was the first thing she said. A month prior on a dating app. Y'all went out 3 times. Y'all ain't never talk on the phone. I'm not even particularly keen on text messaging. because text messaging can, it's not personal first and foremost. I'm old. It's not personal. You can't hear somebody's tone. You can kind of get a whiff or a gist of someone's character if you're speaking to them on the phone. If you text message, it's so interpersonal. It is so not interpersonal, excuse me. It is so not personal, because I can't think of the word that I'm looking for right now. So after they went on the 3 dates, they were before they went on the 3 dates, they were texting. After they went on the 3 dates and she gave him some booty, she ain't heard nothing else from him. She said, I ain't heard from him in 2 weeks. We had sex 2 weeks ago. SEX 2 weeks ago, because we went on our 3 dates, and then I got a 3-date minimum. And Kendra was like, you just be doing that? She was like, well, I just get lonely sometime, and he was fine. So Kendra asked her to get up and do the Kendra G body cam. And she asked the man or the woman, we want to see you from head to toe. People are going to want to see what you look like. Now, instead of her getting up, this would have been my thought process. Hold your phone, get yourself positioned, put your phone down. She got up and turned her whole buttocks in the way of the phone. And first thing I said is, ooh, that looks like butt pads. You come to find out at the end of the show that it was definitely a BBL. So you pair the fact that you're saying that you can love yourself better with the fact that you have went and, I'm not even going to say that people don't get plastic surgery for their own reasons sometimes. But when you pair the fact that you went out and got you a BBL Drizzy, BBL Judy, BBL whatever Drake says, with the fact that you said that you don't love yourself correctly, it's all a disaster waiting to happen. Because that is the first thing you saw was booty, booty, booty. I don't own the rights to any of this music that I might just break out and start singing. I love my daughter's friends. Always love to be in my presence. This is not me saying I'm the best person in the world. This is me saying that God knows that I love people. I love the babies even more than I love adult people. But she was the babies to me. She was younger than my daughters. My daughters are 30. I think she was 27 maybe. And anytime, Kendra said it, anytime you're leading with your body, it's never going to work out good. I say that about women, and guess what, man? Anytime you lead with your money, you get what you're trying to pay for. So if you out there, you saying that you're looking for a woman, but you leading with your money, the one's going to come that want the money. Money, 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 money. Ooh, money. Money, 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 money. Hey, money. Some people got to have it. Some people really need it. Do things, do things, do things, bad things, baby. I'm in love with money. Sometimes you just can't date. When you say twice on a dating show that you have to work on your self-love, I have had this conversation on this platform. I have had this conversation with people that I love. Sometimes you cannot date. Is it possible to date while you are on a journey to self-love? Yes, if that person is too, but date. Kendra kept saying maybe you should make them be in a relationship with you before you think about having SEX with them. She was like, how do I do that? You don't even know how to strive for a relationship. That means you shouldn't be trying to be in one. You should be trying to figure out how do you learn how to love yourself so that you do not concern yourself with falling back into that pattern so that you can work on being able to discern whether someone is for you or if they just, cause men they'll spend a little bit of change. They might get to a point where they're gonna back up off of it. But if they want the booty, they might spend a little change so they can get the booty. They definitely gonna tell you some good words. They're gonna use good words and fair speech so that they can get the booty. They're gonna put on the perfect facade so that they can get the booty. Period. And if that's not something that you want, you have to learn how to take the time for yourself. It takes a whole lot. Ask me how I know. Because once I got my divorce, I sat with myself. Not only did I sit with myself, I was abstinent for a whole lot of years. Not because there was nobody trying to get the booty. Because I was not giving it up. Because I needed to sit with myself for a whole lot of years. But we don't want to do that. We want to give in to our every whim. She said, I get lonely sometimes. That's what she said. I get lonely sometimes, and he was fine. And Kendra G says this on a regular basis. And O'Shea Duke Jackson says it as well. When the dude is fine, he don't have to do as much to get the booty. The one that ain't so fine, he might got to do a little more, but the dude, he don't even really got to be fine. All he got to do, and I'm going to say, the young man that was up there was like, what you want, somebody with swag, or you want somebody that's going to take care of you? Sometimes that dude to get the booty, he not particularly fine, but he's smooth. Oh, is he smooth? And then once he's smooth because he know he's getting ready to lay it down. And once they lay it down, and you is taken by the lay down, because you be taken by the lay down, and that's all I keep trying to tell us, ladies. To them, it's just sex. To us, our emotions become involved when that thing is hitting right. But if he the smooth dude or the fine dude and everybody is throwing themselves at him, like Kendra said, what makes you stand out? At this point, he knows that you're going to be the one that all he got to do is take on 3 days. Somebody got to wait. Especially if he watched the show. They liable to put tone real thick for you at that point because they don't watch the show. And they were like, oh, she just need 3 days. Oh, let me be, look. I'm getting ready to tell her some things and some stuff. Oh, I'm getting ready to get on that BBL. I'm getting ready to get on that BBL. That is my suggestion to not leading with your body. Sometimes you just have to take a break from the dating world and you have to find a place of self-discipline. Sometimes you have to learn to love your single season, especially if you are having a hard time loving yourself. Loving your single season is going to make you want to sit down and look at yourself good, bad, and indifferent. Which is going to change the way you view yourself. Period. Which is going to change the people that you attract. I hate to hear someone say, you rarely ever going to hear a man say that they don't love themselves. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, you don't never got to say you don't love yourself. Because somebody with a discerning spirit can tell when someone has an issue with self-love. Period. You feel me? So this other one on Kendra, So I'm gonna talk about baby mama, what is it? Baby daddy banter or baby mama banter on Instagram simultaneously with this other one that was on Kendra. And real quick, Kendra stereotyped the mess. Kendra be stereotyping her audience sometimes. And look, I love Kendra. It is what it is. Sometimes she be stereotyping her audience. The woman done said that she didn't want no corny dude, and she was like, she said, assumed that the woman was talking about thugs. No, it said she assumed she wanted thugs because she said she ain't want no corny dude. So when she said she ain't want somebody corny, Kendra was like, oh, what you into, thugs or something like that? I forget how she worded it. But the woman was like, no. She was like, I don't want nobody that's going to be saying they are one way, which is what a facade is all about. Portraying one thing and that's not something that you aren't. Kendra was like, oh, okay, I could get with that. That's a corny dude too. Kendra be ready to, she just be ready to go sometimes. Sometimes you see the chat getting at her, which I can appreciate, but I said, I'm going to say this till the wheels fall off. If anybody, the truth don't care who tells it. And if you become the common denominator of people saying things, common denominator is not always a bad thing, but if it could be, and you don't take the time to sit back and see, could there be any truth to what these people that may not know me are saying about me? Then that to me strikes me as someone who wants to be yesed to death. They like yes men around them. Especially because the chat is in here on my show, and so y'all can't tell me nothing because I'm hosting the show and y'all is just in the chat. IJS. But anywho, these baby mama banters was talking about the father of the child, father of children, basically leaving mothers as single mothers because y'all make these babies and then y'all just bounce and all of this good stuff like that. And I basically went on that comment and was like, well, do they choose you without being chosen? Because y'all heard me in the beginning say, they picked me, they chose me, they gave me the baby, and there is no taking of accountability in any of that. These are not young men, young women that are saying that they have been raped or depart. I like depart better than I like raped. These are not young women who are saying that their mental capacity was, hey there, that their mental capacity was, in a place where they could not make decisions rightly. Because a lot of times, even sometimes where there are mental issues, you still have the capacity to make informed decisions. Every mental health issue is not associated with the ability not to make decisions. So if we are saying they fathered these babies and they just left, that goes to, I go back to the 3-date rule. Said she was going on 3 days. I guess she's keeping herself safe so that she's not, she said she wouldn't have children with anyone she wasn't married to, so she's keeping herself protected. But everybody don't even think to keep themselves protected, because once they get in the emotion of things, once that swag done put that thing on you, once that good look done put that thing on you, then you all up in them emotions that I told you are tied with us to allowing them to put that thing on us. So you didn't take the time to get to know this man that is now the father of your child, and now everything is his fault. This young woman had 7 babies, 6 daddies. She said she was wifey material. Kendra asked her, well, if you're wifey material, why couldn't you be the wife of one of your 6 fathers to your children? She said they wasn't husband material. 7 children, 6 fathers. Twins can get some leeway. The first and the second baby can get some leeway. But if you 7 children, 6 fathers, none of them were husband material, and you put that all on them. Kendra said, why would you give them the ultimate gift, which is a child? She says, they gave me the children. That's all I'm talking about. So you wanted to be picked 7 times by 6 different men. And if I come up here and I say, where's your accountability? I'm the pick me. I'm the pick me. God knows that I'm going to call a man out on his mess. But you attract who you are. You attract who you are. So you attracted some good D 7 whole times. But you was wifey material. But none of them was husband material. And it was okay for you to get, and children are a blessing. Children are a blessing. But once we start talking about the men who helped us to create the blessing, I just sat here on, regardless of what me and my ex-husband went through, I just cut up video that said he was a blessing because he blessed me with my 2 blessings. Regardless of what we went through, I have my daughters. But you also heard me sit here and say I had to self-examine. And I left my ex-husband. And we were together for 15 years. This young lady was a self-confessed nympho. She kept saying she was a nympho. Said she had good cat. Said when they hit it from the back, she don't know who taking the condom off. So there lacks the spirit of discernment. Because it, first and foremost, it feels different. You might not want to deal with the fact that it feels different because you in the, or maybe don't let nobody hit it from the back since you don't know, because that's making me feel like you're saying everybody hit it from the back and that's when you got pregnant. You had the condoms on and then they told you to turn around. Seem like you want to stop turning around. At least after baby number 3, you might not want to turn around no more and let nobody hit it from the back. Because the cat going to be good from the front or the back. But if you can't keep track of them condoms, you might not want to let nobody hit it from the back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. She said the only accountability that she is taking is that she had sex with him because she's very fertile. That's the only accountability really that she needs to take, but she does not need to ever then say that somebody wasn't husband material. Because you said it. You like to have sex a lot. And you know that you're fertile. So when you pair that you like to have sex and you know that you're fertile and you keep letting them hit it from the back, you come up with 7 babies and 6 daddies. I mean, who to pick me? Me? Or you. You wanted to be picked 7 times. And they picked you. 7 times. They just didn't keep you. She said a lot of guys pretend to have relationships so that they can get the cat. Didn't I just say that with the first young lady? And I watched this one first. They go good words, fair speech, little bit of change, whatever it boils down to, so that they can get the cat. Because the man likes the cat. So if you are keeping the cat until you know that the man is going to be in relationships, because when you say a lot of men like fake relationships and you pair it with the fact that you said that you are a nympho of sorts, it's still going to make me ask the question, how long before you gave up the cat? Because you a nympho. Was it really a fake relationship? Because you a nympho. A nympho, that's what it was giving with the young lady that said she go on 3 dates. She was like, I get lonely sometime and they look good. When she said I generally am going to go on 3 dates, that made it seem like this 3-date thing has happened before. And before. And before. That's what I put in the comments. How can you totally blame a man when you don't want to stop giving up the cat long enough to try to know somebody? I don't care what they say. I don't care. Because you'll hear men out there talking about you going to be... And Kendra says that too. When you got 7 babies by 6 daddies and you out here looking for a man and then you want to be celibate until you marry, because sometimes you get that. And I get it. But I also get when you got 7 babies and 6 daddies, you might need to back up from relationships too and work on you. And then once you work on you, like I said, you're not going to be looking for the same things. Because they both said the same thing. They want to make sure, when you trying to make sure that you got the best D, that's what you get. That's not even... When you got the best D, he knows that he got the good D, and he's probably laying that down on his share of women. That's all I'm saying. Might not be relationship worthy. He might even got a chick at the house. He got the best D. He might got somebody that he go home to every night. Who knows? And she know he got the best D, and he probably taking care of the house. It bees like that sometimes. It just bees like that. I bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. I guess I'm not supposed to be singing Nicki, because likes Nicki because she like Donald Trump. I don't know. Like, Lord, I just like songs. I just like songs. Oh, yeah. Okay. She said, her deal breaker was it for me. It should be any deal breaker for any woman. And I think that anybody, because sometimes you have single fathers, but I really feel like this deal breaker is more women. Not because I don't feel like women do what I'm about to say, but I don't know. I don't know. Keep the men away from your babies. If you was 3 dating, and I don't think this one didn't have children, but if you likes the sex, or if you is dating multiple men, or whatever you call dating, because sometimes dating is meaning that he is laying it down and y'all ain't even going outside the house. If you have multiple men in your life and you got babies, and I don't care if they is girl babies or boy babies, keep the men away from your babies. Keep the men away from your babies. If you don't keep the men away from your babies, it is highly likely If you don't keep the men away from your babies, it is highly likely that you could possibly be having some communication in the future with your babies about your men. And this is not allegedly, because it happens. And if you are not discerning enough to know that multiple men don't need to be around your babies, then it's highly likely that you can be putting your babies in danger. Danger! And you don't want to put your babies in danger. You shouldn't want to put your babies in danger. But it has happened through the years. That was one of the best deal breakers that I think that should be a deal breaker for any woman with children. Keep the men away from your babies. Because sometimes the men don't want you. Sometimes they want your babies. And whoo, buddy. Sometimes the mamas see that the men want their girls, especially when their girls is just a little bit older, might be teenage age and stuff like that. You see that the men want your girls, and then you going to go take it out. Girl, why is that phone ringing and I got that's a shame and a scandal. I hope that this didn't just go silent. Because I turned the notifications off on that phone and it just popped up anywho. Yeah, and then you're going to take it out on your girls because you see that your man wants your girl when your man ain't even got no business being around your girl in the first place. And that's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. So, this dude, where is that? He just tripped me out because he said that by the time we were all said and done, he said he was ready for the comments. He said he was ready for the comments. And then them comments started hitting him. He wasn't really ready for the comments. Most of the comments was about his teeth. He had gold. He was an OG with gold teeth. And sometimes, you know, you have those gold teeth and you be smoking cigarettes and, you know, your teeth already, you know, the cigarette stain your teeth, and then your gold teeth just look yellower, and it was a lot. And he didn't want to open his mouth. Kendrick kept asking him to smile, and he didn't really want to smile. Kept trying to come at the comment. He kept trying to come at the comment like Dort just tried to come at me. How is you coming at the car? And Dort had a better chance because Dort sees me. This dude didn't even see none of the people in the comments. And he just trying to think, eating the comments up because you can't take what you asked for. You asked for the comments, and when the comments came, you weren't ready to go. But I talked about that. I'm talking about this one because at the end, he gonna say he wasn't there to find nobody, but it's a dating show. How you come on the dating show, not the date? The only other time that they come back is if they giving an update. You ain't coming back for no update. You talking about some you won't there to find nobody now because you done mad because the comments done came in there and got you. But what got me the most with him was this dude was 47 and he was looking for a 21-year-old. And one of the commenters came on and said to him, would you allow someone your age to date your daughter? Because Kendra kept saying, you want somebody your daughter age? Because daughter 21. You want somebody your daughter age? Yeah. She grown. Ain't she grown? Ain't she grown? Even try to hit Kendra with, why when the women come up here and they be dating younger men, y'all don't say nothing? Kendra was like, no, and that's me too. If the woman was 47 and the man was 21, I would still have an issue with it. I love Drea Michelle, but I have an issue with the fact that she has a baby with a baby. I have an issue with that. I would let you with 30 and up. I would that you were 30 and up when you're in your 40s. But 25, I go reluctantly. But 21, they just was not a teenager. Not quite, not even, they ain't even not been a teenager for 3 years. Which means that they are still on a teenage mentality. So when that chat member comes in and asks him, would you allow your daughter to date somebody your age? He sat back and he was like, no. And then he said, well, a 40-year-old, and Kendra stopped him right there. You're not 40, you 47. He went back to no and then went back and tried to clean it up because now you know that you sound like a purity fool. Like the Pitos. Because you want to be around there with them babies. Because you were probably looking at them before she became 21. If you want a 21-year-old, you're probably somewhere looking at some that are not 21. But why would you think and said she probably got a dad and he probably think the same way that I do about my daughter. Well, why then would you want? If you know that she got a daddy or she could potentially have a daddy that do not want her dealing with no 50-year-old man because you closer to 50 than you'll ever be to 40 again. IJS. Let's read the scriptures. Let's read the scripture, and then we're going to talk about, social media, fame, and infamy, and the turnouts that can happen. Whew. Oh, can I say this right quick? Because I know a lot of people like to say it. And we are who we are. And life is a growing experience, a learning experience with each day. But if you are the common denominator of having to always use this phrase, I am who I am, you might want to think on some things about maybe some work that may need to be done. Because just because we are who we are does not mean that we are doing good things all the time. I am who I am can sometimes be a rationalization of poor behavior, and that's just the way you are, so you just got to deal with it, and you do. But it is worth a take a look at when you just are who you are. And that can be impressed upon in this dating game as well. You don't have to change for nobody, and people should always accept people for just the way they are. You can walk away. You don't got to be in situations with people if you don't like the way that they are. But if you're the common denominator of people always walking away, you just have to wonder if there are character issues there. And if it is your goal in life to have a better character, then you just got to wonder if your character is the best and if there's anything that you could be doing to better your character. Character is what should always be looked at before money, before body, before any of that character in the dating game. You're not checking for somebody's character. You can have the finest, poorest character in the world. You can have the richest, poorest character in the world. You can have the best bodied, poorest character in the world. That's awesome. Proverbs 5:13. And have not obeyed the voices of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. If somebody is telling you something good and you just brush it off, if you're feeling like a pimp, go on, brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go on, brush your shoulders off. If you're not trying to hear no teaching, no good advice, if can't nobody tell you nothing, You was just waiting for destruction to happen. This person is not somebody that's without teachers or advisors, but someone that he gave no heed to their warnings and reproof. The teachers is around you. God gonna speak to you through people, places, and things. It's not saying that you ain't never been taught the right way. You just ain't give it ear. You ain't trying to catch it. You want to do what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it, to who you want to do it with, where you want to do it. It's all good in the hood for you. God will help tell you, you gonna learn today. Don't be messing with God. Says the sufferer accuses himself of hatred to the light. Am I picking you? Am I to pick me? Or are you to pick me? Because you accusing yourself of hatred to the light because somebody trying to tell you that you need to go somewhere and sit down with yourself for a few specks. Learn that you not just be giving the booty up too quick. The sufferer accuses himself of hatred of light, contempt of rebuke, disobedience to voices that were authoritative, deafness to warning. I don't hear no evil or no good. You hear the evil because you adhering to it. You can't tell me what to do. I'm grown. No external condemnation is ever passed on a man which his conscience has not previously ratified. If I said it to you, you knew it right here. You knew it right here. You won't trying to hear it. You ain't trying to heed it. 'Cause I'm grown. Remorse is the last witness to wisdom and her claims. I did a quick little search in YouTube on the unaccountable women. And this woman said, I didn't get her name, but she said the truest sign of growth is taking accountability. Remorse is the last witness to wisdom and her claims. The last witness. Because you want to do what you want to do all the while. And then when God put it in your face to such a way, you can't do nothing at that point but say sorry. And then that's when the wisdom kicks in. Remorse is the last witness to wisdom. Considerable advantages and means of religious instruction. Serious responsibilities to God and your own conscience. So especially if you are walking in relationship with the true and the living God, but even if you are not, that does not mean that you get to be unaccountable. But if you are walking in relationship with the true and living God and you think that it's okay to be walking around unaccountable, because that be the epitome of church folk. Because that be the epitome of church folk. That be the epitome of why I sing on this platform, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Because you're not accountable. But you want me to be held accountable because why? That's why this walk is a walk of self-evaluation. I don't care what anybody says. This Christian walk is a walk of self-evaluation, and anytime that you are not wanting to evaluate oneself, that is the epitome of the reasoning behind you should never have to tell somebody that you are saved. They should see it. And holier than thou doth not make one showing the relationship between the true and the living God. Holier than thou is the most haughty thing out there that you could be doing. There is an implied connection between instruction and obedience. If I give you it, if we in there baking a cake, if we in there baking a cake and you don't pay no attention to the instructions, do you think that that cake is going to come out like it posed to? When I made my chicken pot pie, I watched several videos. Did I change some things? Yes. They used pizza dough. I used biscuit dough. They had chicken broth. I had to make up some chicken broth with my bouillon cubes and some water. But for the most part, I followed instruction because I wanted a good chicken pot pie, because I've been wanting that chicken pot pie for over a year now, and I just made it, and y'all heard that crust? Y'all heard that crust on that chicken pot pie? Go look at my chicken pot pie video if y'all ain't. Woo! That crust was like, yeah. That is the kind of peach cobbler that I want my crust to be. I do not want it to taste like dough when I get ready to do the peach cobbler. I need for my crust to be tap, 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 because that's the way Queen used to do. But first and foremost, anywho, instruction. There is a connection between instruction and obedience. If you are getting an instruction, it is because you are supposed to be obedient to the instruction. And if you're not obedient to the instruction, that's a mess waiting to happen. Sauce. Period. You're going to the ditch. Your kite string gonna get cut. Oh, the meniscus. Oh, okay, y'all. We getting ready to talk about. This one is sad, y'all. This one is a little sad, and they God be telling me to lighten stuff up, and sometimes it just feels really, really weird when you talking about things and of this stature, and you have to try to lighten it up. So I was watching this show called Crimes of Passion. And it was these two young ladies that had a Facebook beef. And the Facebook beef came from the fact that the one young lady, Savon is her name. I think Savon is the one. Savon wanted to get pictures done by Lauren. Yeah. And when she got the pictures done, she didn't like it. She ain't like the pictures. And so she began to speak about it on social media, which you have the right to do. I said when I was, I didn't really talk about Alice Dimples, braids by Alice Dimples, when she did the young lady's braids, and she didn't do the braids. Somebody else did the braids, and they was a hot mess on top of the fact that they kept her waiting for hours. She went through a whole thing to get those hot mess braids and put in her head. And so she used social media as her platform for leaving a review. So you have the right. This social media, y'all, when we keep trying to control how social media does, we is just going to be sadly saddened. Because this is social media and people talk on social media. People say hurtful things on social media because, Dort, it makes them feel like they're bigger and better than you, I guess. I got you, Dort. I told you I received your apology, but I mean, you're my example today because you came straight into my chat and basically told me that I ate the McDonald's owner. So people are going to say things, and they have the right to. That's why I said words do hurt. But once you have done work, it's harder for words to hurt you. I promise you, it's harder for words to hurt you when you've done work. But people will use their words, and their words are not always going to be good words. So she is going back and forth online about the fact that she didn't like the pictures. And then somehow or another, I think they both cooked and made plates for people. So then the food came into into the context of the story. So I don't know if they had tried Lauren's food and they were saying her food wasn't good, but this became a whole social media beef to the point where they were invited on somebody's platform on Facebook trying to work it out. And they got into it on the platform. And that platform didn't, and big ups, I wish I knew who the platform was. The show I was watching did not give way to any information on who the platform was. But big ups to them because they did try to resolve this beef. And this beef just became more and more out of control. You saw one of them, Savon would go live and Lauren would see that she was live, and then Lauren would go live, and they are just going back and forth in this social media beef. Adults. And so on one of the lives, you hear Lauren say, well, I guess I got to go to, where it was. Do I got where it was in here? Sanford. Guess I got to go to Sanford. I think this was Florida. This is Sanford in North Carolina as well. I'm going to Sanford. And you hear Lauren's baby trying to talk her out of it. Lauren wound up going to Sanford, y'all. So they hear her saying she's coming to Sanford. They're on live. They're both on each other's lives simultaneously. So they hear her saying she's coming to Sanford. They tell her, come on to Sanford. Come on to Sanford. Y'all, can y'all please think twice before y'all just... Kendra say this on her show. I'm a sidebar right quick. Kendra say this on her show. It's certain people that say certain things. Okay, the one girl was like, she said something, and Kendra was like, Kendra said something to the young lady about the chat, maybe, and the girl was like, da 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 da, the fuck, and Kendra was like, you know, if somebody say the fuck, if they end their sentence with the fuck, that's not somebody you want to mess with. So Kendra makes jokes about social media gangsters, like in the chat, and you know, the people that you don't want to mess with, because you wouldn't really be like this if you were in real time. And in my brain, when Lauren said that she was going to Sanford, It was because Lauren had every intention on whooping ass. Whooping ass. But once you not only go to someone's house, but then you tell them. There have been people that just go to people's house. But you tell somebody you're coming to their house, and you tell somebody that you're coming to their house. They didn't have the opportunity to get prepared. So you're telling them that you're coming to Sanford, and they like, bring your ass on to Sanford. This is what they're saying on the other. Come on to Sanford. Come on to Sanford. So she gets geared up, and she gets in her car, and she goes to Sanford. And when she gets to Sanford, they said, come on over here. Come on. Savon was a lesbian. So you hear her girlfriend in the background telling her, come on over here and fight. Come on over here and get your ass beat. Da, 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 da. So she goes over there. Nope. They come out of the house. Savon comes out of the house with a bat. She goes to the middle of the street. They begin to fight. Lauren gets the bat. I tell you, when Lauren came, it was Lauren's intention to whoop ass. Because technically, the whole beef started when you ain't like the pictures and you went online, and it just went on and on and on. And I'm not saying that Lauren didn't have her issues or her faults in the beef, but the crime and passion story told of the beginning of the beef being because y'all went online and started talking about the pictures. I don't know, maybe you could have inboxed her and talked about the pictures. I don't know, but it just got out of hand. Egos. They got a big ego. Such a big ego. They love their big ego. It's too much. Lauren was ready to back up her ego. But so was Savon. Because when Lauren took that bat from Savon, Savon went and got a pow pow that she had earlier stashed on the utility pole before Lauren got there. And then you hear Lakivia, who is the girlfriend, say, put that fire in her, or what did she say? Let me see. Lakivia said she started screaming once Lauren got the bat. She started screaming, "Fire her up, bae." The true crime passion said that was a direct instruction to use that planted weapon. So you planted the weapon and then screamed, "Fire her up." She was instigating the fight from the sidelines. Instigating the fight from the sidelines. The reporter on the show said, winning an argument online means nothing when children are left without a mother. Like, that's why breathing is real stuff. I'm going to talk about God saying not allow my buttons to be pushing. I'm not saying I would be the one that would be getting in a car, going to someone's home, going to another town to approach somebody. I don't just go and start fights. Even in that, I don't just go and start fights. But, excuse me, I have been on the end some. But my buttons being pushed is because when I believe that I'm wrong, I take it in and I want to handle it. And a lot of times I can handle it in the very most emotional way. Some of my allow my buttons to be pushed had it been in situations, different situations and circumstances, could have become fights based off of street media saying today that you can say what you want to a man as a woman, and that's not making it right for him to hit you, but it could. That's a weak man. And if my words, and I'm gonna say that every time, if my words can cause you to put your hand on me, you're weak. That's a woman or a man. That's anybody, but to me, more so a man. Why? Because I am the woman that say, ladies, keep your hands off of men. Keep your hands off of men. If they didn't put their hands on you, you shouldn't be putting their hands on them and then expecting that you should be looked at as the victim because you're a woman and he a man. He ain't put his hands on you, but you think that you can hit him because you're a woman and he's a man, and he's then not supposed to respond. He's not supposed to defend himself. No. Now that baby is without a mother. That same baby that didn't want her mama to go. Now she's without a mother. And Savon, I'm not quite sure if Savon had children, but now her children or her child is without a mother because she thought she was going to be able to get away with self-defense. They said she planted that weapon. You already were going to have to deal with something with the bat, but then you planted that gun. And she can't even get her with she came to my house because you left your house and went out into the street. If she would have allowed her to come onto her premises, that would have been more apt to be self-defense. But you planted evidence, you planted a weapon, and then you took it off of your property. That's what emotions do. When we could have just not dealt with it no more. Like, we didn't even have to keep talking about the issues that you ain't like. Just one good time. I don't even understand how it continued on and on and on. She took the most horrible pictures of me, y'all. Don't let her photograph y'all. Don't let her be y'all photographer because y'all is not gonna like her work. Period. But once our egos get in the way and our emotions take control and everything gets to bubbling on the inside, we is just some bad mamma jammas out there. She's a bad mamma jamma. Can't nobody tell us nothing. No instruction. When they pulled y'all on that Facebook Live together, they was trying to give y'all instruction. Nobody wanted to heed it. Nobody wanted to heed the instruction. All right, y'all. We done talked about these crazies on Kendra G. I be loving the Kendra G show. Look, they don't always be the crazies. Sometimes it be they don't be the crazies. We done talked about a few folk on Kendra G today, and we done talked about not heeding this instruction that be right up in your face. And we done talked about this Facebook beef that turned fatal, y'all. We have got to learn self-control and understand the implications between instruction and obedience. Hello, beautiful. If you're you're baking a cake and you don't use the instructions, what do you think that you're going to have? Now, we're not talking about if you know how to bake things from homemade and all that stuff, your grandma's recipes and everything like that. We are talking about if you ain't never baked a cake at all and you use the instructions. They give you those instructions so that you can be obedient, so that you can get a good cake. There is an implication between instruction and obedience. If the God is out here telling us what the God wants us to do, it is because the God believes that we are going to be obedient. Not for lack of teachers. If you ain't never had nobody to teach you, to instruct you, that's something different. But if you just want to ignore, then you're going to get what you asking for. Beautiful. Sylvie loves you, and I am out.